Hello Internet, what's up my peeps? I realized that I need to build some sort of cold greenhouse. I'm not really sure what it's called in English. It's called drivbänk in Swedish. I'll add the translation here just so you know what I'm talking about. This is totally impromptu. I have no idea really how I'm gonna do this. It'll be from scrap wood and some leftovers from an old plastic greenhouse that I have. So let's see if we can't put something together, shall we? So here's the material I have to work with. This is from the old plastic greenhouse that blew apart. This is scrap pressure treated lumber. Various shapes and sizes. I have more in my bin, and I even have some proper lengths. I'll just wing it. You'll see this grow and develop and flourish into something beautiful along with me. So I realized that due to the size of this, I can't use a lot of my scrap wood. And I also realized that I need a front, of course. As you may or may not have been able to figure out from my crude drawing, I'm planning to slant the roof. This works very well, this with an overhead. I'm going to slant the lid. I'm thinking maybe I'll take 60% of this as the lid, and then the next 40 as the front. I have probably 10 or 20 plants I need to get growing, so in that way I can use part of this to build a frame. I'm going to build a separate frame for the lid. I'm going to use this thinner material for that, but then I can use a lot of this to build the frame for the actual box. All in favor say aye. Yeah. The width of the lid as is now is the same as this. It's 60. I can use this to kind of figure out the division. So I'm thinking 35 will be the width or the depth of the box. The width will be the full size. So that's 35. That leaves 25 for the front. With this being the side, I need to, hello spider, with this being the actual depth of the box, if this is the side, then this needs to be 25. So this is way too steep of an angle. Yeah, that's maybe not. Kinda looks dumb though. And since I'll have a clear front, I won't be needing this steep of an angle, so perhaps if we go 35 this side. That seems a lot more reasonable. And since the cold frame, I think it's called a cold frame. I would call it the cold frame. And since the cold frame will be sitting on my porch, there will be no bottom. It might seem a bit wasteful to cut this out of this entire piece of plastic, but I've had this for 5 years and done nothing with it, so yeah, sometimes, you know, sometimes I actually think things through. This is a slope, as you may have noticed. This is longer than 35. This is 35. This is not 35. Which means that this won't be 20 when I'm done. But that's irrelevant. We can cut this part off to get this height we need here. This will be back against the wall of the house, so that's irrelevant for this purpose. Let's measure this and place this. 36.5. Thanks, brain. Now, let's see how much we need to adjust these guys. This should be something like, instead of 25, it's 23.5. Yeah, still not a fan of cutting this. And there's absolutely no idea trying to cut it in one go. You'll get a much nicer result if you do it multiple times. Yeah, that will do. I raided my scrap bin, and these are all the 45 by 45 or 2 by 2s, as they might be called in the US, that I have. Just gonna quick measurement here. This isn't technically a 45 by 45, it's a cut off from another project, but it's 43 by 42, so it's absolutely close enough. These are all supporting braces. I can use these, the shortest one for that, because they don't really need to be that big. I can just 45, 45, bam, and we're done. In the front, we needed 25, right? Oh no, 23 and a half. We lowered it, yes. No, these are 23. No, 33 of course, since if I shorten this, and this will be short as well. I don't think I want to build it all the way up, because I want the lid, the frame of the lid, to rest on this. And I know I have to build the lid out of this, because otherwise I think the lid will be too heavy. 45 by 25, yeah. Okay, we're going to skip the top-down view, because otherwise it'll be really hard to explain this. This is my thinking. I placed one of the side pieces as a reference. I really don't like this handheld style, but it's probably the easiest way to do it. This top piece will be placed so that it'll rest on that piece and on that piece. This is the part of the lid that you place between this one and this one. And then the frame will be built out like so and so and so and so on. Seeing how stocky this is, I might not need these cross braces. There will be very little, if any, load on these. It's just to keep this plastic in place. The top section is 150 wide. I actually wrote down 120, but that seems small, so I double checked, because again, my brain and I aren't always on the same team. Since I'll be placing these like so, I need to subtract 45 plus 45 equals 90. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to measure out the distance for these and how far down this one needs to be. This one just needs to go here. I'm actually going to assemble them on these because I don't trust this table to be flat or level enough to do a good job. I'm going to place this divider 45 mil up. Doesn't matter for this lower one, and as long as I have enough space for the upper one, that shouldn't be a problem. The reason for that is because there isn't much space to get through here for another set of screws this way. So by raising it up here, that's good enough. I need something to attach the side panel to, but this should be more than good enough. Yeah, here's what happens when you kind of wing it. If this one is flush here, then where is the plastic to go? I need to trim this off, and that won't happen. So my solution is to let this line end over here and let it continue up over here. I need to bring out the actual plastic and do some measurement. I was completely prepared for this to not be flush with this. That's a compromise I did on purpose. I can cut this down like half a centimeter. That even. It's a bit more rigid than the plastic. Yeah, it's only a couple of mil. Really good. Let's see if it's the same on the other side. Yep, works just as well. I'm just gonna attach these. I pre-drilled these off camera. Attach them to ends like this. Now everything should be in frame. We're gonna start by screwing these together. There's a large chance that this isn't square, but yeah, we got the width somewhat correct. We need to check if the frame we made for the lid fits into this. Yes, yeah, this part is solid. I was thinking of constructing some elaborate hinging system, but since I can't really hinge here because then I would pinch or break plastic, I'm simply gonna leave it on like this. Don't think it will be windy enough for it to take off. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news are that it went pretty well washing the plastics. The bad news is I managed to drop one of the small panels down between the cracks of the porch. So now I gotta spend probably forever taking one of these boards out and retrieving that panel. Okay, with that intermission out of the way, let's see if we can't attach the plastic to top frame. I actually think I'm going to attach this one first because I might want to pull this out a bit to make sure it doesn't look stupid. Tight as a drum. Can any of you figure out why this was a bad idea? That's the goddamn lid. Let's remove those, shall we? Yeah, they're in there proper. That's always something, I guess. I did notice that lifting in this works, but it's just a matter of time before I rip the staples out. So I'm just gonna fabricate some super simple handles. So what I did, I just cut off. This isn't even the same material I used for the frame for the lid. It's some offcut. Cut 12 centimeters, drilled a hole through. Just gonna screw that on top and then I can use that lift. So it will be as simple as that. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but for spending half a day or so on it, I think it came out well. It might be too hot in there, I might have to make holes somewhere, or we'll see. Nonetheless, I'm glad I did it. Now I just need to plant some plants, I guess. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful, interesting or entertaining, perhaps all of the above. Please stay safe and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.